Over the last few years, things have been pretty hectic within Journey as it relates to the feud that's been going on between Jonathan Cain and Neal Schon. There had been a lawsuit in the past that centered on access to credit card records and somewhat of a back and forth between Neal and Jonathan. But things were really looking up just a few short weeks ago when Neal Schon said in an interview that they had kind of come up with a new way to make decisions as a band and that they were kind of starting to work things out. So then we see another setback. They end up getting into another lawsuit filed by Jonathan Cain, apparently over the amount of spending that Neal Schon was allegedly doing. They said that he had like a $1,500 a night allowance for hotels, which is, a lot. That's going to get you a really good hotel room. And they were claiming that he was going over it, and there was just a bunch of expenses that Jonathan Cain took issue with. And Neal Schon has been speaking out about this a little bit, and he is proposing a way for them to maybe mediate this, and hopefully this won't be as drawn out. They're still up on stage, so it doesn't really seem like they hate each other, but there's some sort of a feud going on about the spending, and maybe they can work this out. But it sounds like Neal Schon doesn't want there to be another long drawn out lawsuit between both members. And so hopefully they can move past this because, as I've said before, they're a great band. Like otherwise, if the personal disputes weren't happening, their live show's great. They've got a mountain of hits. It's like, why should this be in the way? But for some reason it is. But now this is what Neal Schon is saying about this whole Journey dispute and what he's proposing now moving forward. Jonathan Cain's lawyers wrote in the new lawsuit, "The deadlock between the company's directors is now interfering with the company's ability to take even the most basic actions and is causing significant disruptions in the smooth operation of the company, and that the problems pose a severe threat of harm to the company and to Journey's storied history of musical greatness." And this is hardly the first time that members of Journey have feuded over money. Back in 2022, Neal Schon sued Jonathan Cain, claiming that his bandmate had blocked his access to an American Express account, which allegedly delayed payments to crew members and vendors. Only several months later, Jonathan Cain would sue Schon back, and in response, that restrictions had been placed on the American Express account to prevent Schon from allegedly misusing the company card. His suit claimed he had supposedly spent $400,000 in a single month. And this new lawsuit from Jonathan Cain is similar in nature. It claims that Schon has spent up to $10,000 per night for hotel rooms for him and his wife. Jonathan Cain's lawyers wrote, "The deadlock between petitioner and respondent has created a toxic internal environment. Rather than focusing on the band's performances during a major international tour, the band's members and crew now find themselves caught in the middle of the director's disputes, afraid of performing their job responsibilities, and pressured to align with one director or another. The issue at hand is that Jonathan Cain wants the court to appoint a neutral third party to the company who has the ability to issue the tie-breaking vote in the event of a dispute over key issues." And now in a positive development in a new statement from Neal Schon, he sounds open to that proposal from Jonathan Cain to appoint that third party to help them mediate decisions. In a statement released on social media, Neal Schon wrote, "Dear friends, anyone who follows Journey will know that John Cain and I don't always see eye to eye on everything, or sometimes on pretty much anything. Recently, John Cain made a number of claims and slanderous accusations about me and my wife, and I can't stress enough how much it upset me and how wrong they are. I am determined to take the high road and push all this aside for the moment to focus on our fans, the tour, and all who give so much to make things happen. That's why I'm so glad that John now agrees with me that the current dynamic can't continue. And it's also why I'm pleased that we're going to bring in someone impartial to help us resolve our disputes, bring clarity to what we're doing, and allow us, as a band, to get back to what we should all focus on, making music and performing for our fans. Thank you all for your support, and see you out there soon. Neal Schon, Journey founder." I mean, he says it right there in his statement. I thought that was actually a pretty good statement there from him. He says, we can't really agree on much or pretty much anything, and I think he hit that right on the head. But if he's agreeing to this and it all works out, then it'll pretty much effectively end this new lawsuit from Jonathan Cain. But you just hope these guys can work this out. It all seems so petty, and hopefully it can be resolved if it's really just about money. But, he's saying they really don't agree on anything. At least they still play. They put on a good show, and Arnell has an amazing voice, so they've got so many hits. But hopefully this gets resolved. Let me know if you all think it will in the comments down below. And as always, be sure to subscribe to Rock Feed for the latest news and updates.